Trump just stole $1.7 billion from US taxpayers immediately after having a humiliating summit with Xi Jinping, which really highlights that the thing that a lot of Trump voters said is nonsense and always was nonsense, where many of them realized that Donald Trump was a bad person. But they said he's going to use this ability to lie tremendously, to kind of rip people off. As president of the United States, he's going to use that to our benefit. But what those people seem not to have realized, maybe because they just didn't want to see it, is China didn't elect Donald Trump president. We did. And as a result, he's not going to use his famous dishonesty and con artist skills primarily on China, where he has very little leverage. He's going to use them on American citizens, where he has a ton, where he just sued his own administration for billions of dollars in order to line his own pockets. And just to be clear, if that's confusing why he would do that, his administration may be run by him, but it's taxpayer money that he just stole. He's in charge of your money, not China's. And that's why when he meets with Xi Jinping, he has an incredibly embarrassing meeting where he gets nothing out of it while being ridiculed by Xi the entire time. But then when it comes to America, well, he's doing very well for himself. It just happens to be at your expense. This really highlights why we shouldn't elect known terrible people as our leaders. People would say things when Trump was being elected like, well, you know, he says he'll do X, Y, and Z. And this was especially ridiculous the second time around when he already had a track record. I had one friend who told me that he was voting for Trump because Trump promised to lower the deficit. That looks pretty ridiculous now that Trump is running historic deficits when we're not even in a recession right now. But it was ridiculous even at the time when he did the exact same thing his first term. Donald Trump's deficits were bigger than Obama's, while Obama inherited the Great Recession and Trump inherited an incredible economy. There is a saying for this in English, that your actions speak louder than your words. And somehow a lot of us forgot that. We forgot that integrity matters for a leader. Unfortunately, it seems there's no amount of theft that will make MAGA see that they're the ones being stolen from. Including at the National Day of Prayer recently, senior MAGA people were out here saying that God raised Trump up in order to spend $1 billion taxpayer dollars building himself a ballroom, which again, initially he'd promised that he and private donors were going to pay for themselves. There's truly no end to this grift, and there's no end to MAGA gullibility either.